Okay, time now for another Bite with Butch. Coach, when you look back at this week against Charlotte, only one turnover, but you don't need to play takeaway when you're playing keep away, running the ball. If you look at the box score, well over 30 rushing attempts between your top two runners, Napoleon Maxwell and Anthony Jones. What was the key to that game there?
Well, obviously, it starts up front, and all week long we talked to both sides of the ball that if we're going to have success in this ball game, we've got to do a great job with the offensive line and the tight ends, and we got to do a great job with the defensive line and the front seven with the linebackers. And on the offensive side of it, to end up with over 350 yards rushing, you already talked about Napoleon Maxwell and Anthony Jones, but you got to throw in there Devontae Price. He had 89 yards, so it was really a good game. And obviously, when you're having success, running the football, it makes you even more dangerous in the passing game because they've got to try to get 7 or 8 guys in the box to try to stop the run, and then it puts all the people on the perimeter one-on-one, and James had a good day in taking care of that. So it was a good performance offensively, and you'd like to continue to build with that.
Now, we haven't talked a lot about Anthony Jones this year, but the last 3 games he's gotten rolling touchdowns in each of the last 3. He had 4 last week. Just talk a little bit about him and his journey to kind of get going this year. Of course, we all know what happened last year with the shooting, but now he's finally found some traction in the box score.
Well, I tell you what, you talk about a two-headed monster, having him and Napoleon Maxwell, and it just kind of shows you how much that we actually truly missed him last year. I mean, the time, and we're grateful that he's survived and he is where he is, but I mean, he's gotten into a role, and at the end of the season, if you remember the bowl game, he had a great game against the bowl game, and he's come back this season hungry. He's really physical. He's catching the ball better out of the backfield. His blitz pickup is really good. So he's a dangerous guy. You saw the run against Charlotte the other day, that if you get a chance to get him to the second level, he can actually outrun everybody in the secondary. So it's good seeing him playing well. It's good to get all 3 of those guys in there. And even one of the things that was kind of cool from a coach's perspective is that we got Sean Peterson and we got Flex Thompson. They got a chance to get in there and get a couple of runs at the end of the game. And so when you can play 5 running backs, it's a pretty good day.
Yeah, and that run you're talking about, that 41-yarder right up the middle, I mean, he was gone as soon as he left.
I think you and I could have run. That hole was big and gaping, and he got probably 10 yards into the secondary before anybody even got close.
Could have put an 18-wheeler through that hole. Hi, Coach. On the other side of the ball with UTEP this week, they're looking to maybe get going this year. I know they only have 1 win, but when you look at their running backs, a guy like Trayvon Hughes, averaging about 5 yards per carry, so there is something to worry about from their rushing attack.
Yeah, I tell you what, when you take a look at them, one, they've played a very difficult schedule. I mean, you play Texas Tech, who's extraordinarily good in the Big 12. They played Nevada, who's a really, really good football team. And so, the challenges that they've had. But when you take a look at them and you look, they've got personnel. They've got explosive wide receivers that can score from anywhere on the field. Quarterbacks, they rotate guys in and out. Mosley is dangerous. I mean, he kind of reminds the kids were talking about, like, hey, that's Lamar Jackson that had 152 yards last week. I mean, he is dangerous. He can throw. The RPO things makes it very, very dangerous. And their offensive line is big and physical. And so, it's another challenge for our defense. Gap control, swarming on defense, getting off of blocks, and doing your assignment, because they're going to give you a lot of what you refer to as like, misdirection type things where they try to confuse you with your eye discipline. It's a fake here, it's a disc going that way, and then the quarterback comes out, and there's a lot of things going on, so you got to really do your assignment.
Okay, FIU, UTEP this week, final home game of the 3-game homestand. You guys have done well to get back to 500. We'll see if the Panthers can get to 4-3 before hitting the road. Coach, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.